What's up, guys? Give me a second, guys. Give me 30 seconds. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I'm a little late, guys. I was kind of busy playing Gotham Knights. That's the reason for my lateness. That's my main reason for my lateness to the stream. And I forgot to promote this. That's my fault. Everyone? But yeah, guys, before we get into this, welcome aboard, guys. So like, share, subscribe, do the usual. I'm a little late. This is an interesting topic to talk about, man. DC is making big moves, as you know. James Gunn and Peter Safran are going to head DC Studios. And it's going to be fun as hell. And you know what? I'm going to check who's in my Twitter circle. Everybody in my Twitter circle, you know what? Since you're on my Twitter circle, I won't add broadcast. I won't end it. Since you're all in my Twitter circle, I'm going to put my StreamYard link in the Twitter circle. In the Twitter circle. And everybody's welcome to join. And let me get my headset. Let me get my headset too, man. DC is making big moves, yes. Huge moves. For the past 2 weeks, DC's been making gigantic moves, humongous moves. Game-changing moves. Or maybe game-changing moves. Yeah, so if you're in my Twitter circle, you should have a link. Let me see who else is in my Twitter circle. Oh, let me add more people. I didn't realize I can add more people in my Twitter circle. The max is 150, I think. 150. Yeah. Enos is allowed in. Oh, of course. Of course, he's allowed in if you want. Yeah. Ambassadors allowed in. Saggy is allowed in. Who else? Who else, guys? I'm gonna end the broadcast. No, I'm joking. Tony's already in there. Okay. Um. Right. Okay. Okay. So if the streamer link is in the Twitter circle, if you have it, you could come in. Who else? Who else? Okay. Just see. Oh, you're all in. So come on board, guys. All right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that. You know, only people at Turtle Circle could see my StreamYard link. All right. So this DC news, we're not going to talk about the Batman stuff. That's huge. That's huge. Obviously, that's going to be a separate stream. The Batman stuff. Okay, I'll let you all know that's going to be a separate stream. We're going to talk about the DCEU related stuff. And what I mean by that, Cavill coming back, Superman coming back, Flash 2 possibly having a script, Green Lantern, the Lanterns stuff being worked around, James Gunn, Pierre Saffron, helming DC Studios, and other things. And we're going to get in discussion about that. You're all free to join. They didn't ruin Superman. How do you know they ruined Superman, Marcus? I know you're joking. Come on. All right, drop it, buddy. Okay. Um, I just got to check. They did not ruin Superman, Marcus. I tell you what ruined Superman. The new 52 Superman. The new 52 ruined Superman, okay? New 52 ruined Superman. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to get that. I think we're going to get that, man. He's not going to be Batman where he's all Debbie Downer all the time. We're going to get that. Don't worry. Take time. I think it shouldn't take 3 movies for him to get there. Superman needs, I mean, yeah. What do you think his glutes work out as? You think Superman doesn't work out? His glutes? No, probably not. Amy Schumer will host Saturday Night Live next week. Oh God. He's gotta work out those glutes. Yeah. Squats or taste. What do you think of squats? Planets? Moons? Do you think do you think he squats with planets and moons and stuff? But okay, let's go. Let's get in. Let's talk about the big news. All the news that's making the Snyder fans, all the Snyder fans say, "Oh, I'm not a DC fan anymore. I'm going to go to Marvel." There's no Snyder. Oh, I'm not a fan anymore. They're going to boycott everything Warner Brothers does, DC related or whatever. Maybe all the Snyder fans are all having a meltdown, hearing their Antichrist James Gunn. Yes, I'll say this. To them, Zack Snyder is Jesus, James Gunn is Antichrist, not realizing that they're best friends in real life. But they don't see that. But they're having a meltdown when the Antichrist is helming partly helming DC Studios on the creative aspect of DC Studios, where Safran's can be more on the budget side, to deal with the financial side of DC Studios. And yes, if I offend any Catholics out there, it's not meant to be offending you guys. This is meant offending. It's really meant to call out Snyder fans who think Zack Snyder is the savior of DC. That's why I made that comparison. That's the only reason I made that comparison. And this is good. I like Zack Snyder's Justice League. Don't get me wrong, but I like James Gunn's two projects that he worked on DC for. That came out in 2001 and early 2002. 2001, I said, right? 2021 and 2022. Suicide Squad, and Peacemaker. I like both of those movies and show. Of course, Peacemaker was a spin-off of the movie, right? That was second to Zendaya's show on HBO. And was received positively. The only people that were hating it were Cultless. That's the only reason they say it failed. But now their Antichrist is helping in the creative aspect. I'm not surprised. They really do like Warner Brothers really does like James Gunn. And he has worked with them in the past, right? The Scooby-Doo movies is Warner Brothers. Squats for days. And I'm waiting for some people. I'm a blind bro. I know you're waiting to come on. James Gunn is a creative director, creative guy. What he has done with the Suicide Squad and the Peacemaker, the way he was able to mix humor, the humor side of those stuff, with the serious side of these characters. Right? Like, yeah, there's a lot of humor in this stuff. But he knew when super ass. Oh my god.
Exposed.
Hey,
What's up? What's up?
super ass. Oh my god.
I was bored. I was like, I need to come in and make a joke. So
That's
here's the joke.
that's definitely a joke. Definitely a joke, man.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
so
when are we gonna get the super ass movie?
2030. Oh,
Oh fuck, that's way too long.
I don't
It
know.
needs to be like next summer. They need to start filming this shit. All you need is just take him, to a green screen, just film his ass for like 2 hours, and I'm sure I'll make $1 billion. I'm sure all these people will still go see it, even if it's just his ass for 2 hours.
Oh my god.
You know it's
I know
true
I know
though.
one person who would love that. I'm not gonna name her name. I'm here.
Oof.
She's cool. She's a good person though.
Oh man. So yeah, what were you talking about before I
I was talking
derailed
about
you?
how James Gunn is the Antichrist, as Zack Snyder is Jesus to Snyder fans, not realizing that them not realizing that they're friends.
Mm,
That's right. Like that's what they see James Gunn as, right? It's the
yes,
Antichrist.
I do. Well, they still think he's a pedo and he's going to ruin everybody's comic book movies, even though none of that is true.
Or he's a
So,
mole. They're the ruin DC.
yeah, they also think that too. I mean, there's just all this like misinformation that's being
You know,
spread.
you know what's funny? I love Kevin Feige's answer. Hearing James Gunn's going to DC Studios, he's like, he has my blessing. I'm like, he doesn't need your blessing to run DC Studios.
Mm-mm. He was taken aback. He was kind of surprised.
Really? He didn't know about it?
Yeah. If you see him on the red
Bullshit.
carpet, he looks surprised. Like he
He's
was
like,
like he still
oh,
doesn't know.
oh shit. DC is serious. He's like, oh shit, DC got serious.
Yeah, I bet because that means he's never going back to Marvel.
No, Guardians
I don't
apparently
think
might be his
he.
last thing. 3.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like Guardians 3, and I don't think. And to
He's
be
done.
honest, I think here's my let's see if this turns out to be true. I think majority of the people who were in Guardians are going to be in DC movies now. Like I think Chris Pratt is going to be in a DC movie,
Some are already in a DC movie. I know.
but like as
The
a main
person.
character.
I know the girl who plays um Mantis. What had a small role in the
Yeah,
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad. But I mean,
That's
like
it.
Dave Bautista was
I know.
supposed to be
And Sean
Peacemaker.
Gunn. Yeah, but Grace Randolph said that he was gonna be Bane, and then James Gunn said, "No, that's never
Yeah,
true."
it wasn't true. He was supposed to be a Peacemaker, but then I
Yes.
think he was shooting. What was he shooting? He was shooting something else.
You know what?
Um,
I think John Cena was a better fit for Peacemaker and Batista. I think that just fits better.
I think Batista, whatever the secret. Okay, if the rumor is true that James Gunn is working, sorry, if James Gunn is working on a Secret Six movie, then I believe
Bane.
Dave Bautista is going to be in it. I don't know if he'll be
Yeah,
Bane. I don't think he'll be Bane, but I think um I could see him as Catman,
that'd be
to be
freaking
honest.
hilarious. That'd be
I think
hilarious.
that would make sense.
Because I know. Here's the thing: a lot of the Marvel actors, they didn't grow up with the comics. But I know for a fact Batista did.
Hmm.
Like I know that
Well,
for a
he was
fact.
pissed off with what they did with Drax, and I don't
How do
think
you?
Drax.
He's not. He didn't made him a joke. He's not a joke in the comics.
Yeah, but even if I don't mind that because Drax is funny, but like they
Yeah.
didn't do his origin, and now that Thanos is dead, like, are they ever gonna explain like
No, there's
his whole
nothing for
thing?
there's nothing for Drax to move. His whole thing is
His
about
the
Thanos.
damn video game did a better
Oh,
job.
I think the film game did better than every Guardians character that James Gunn did, and then James Gunn did a
Yes,
tremendous job.
and that was a side quest.
Yes, and no, don't get me wrong. James Gunn did a tremendous job with the Guardians, but the video game did it better. I
Yes.
mean, but I think video games do it with I think with video games with comic book characters, they tend to do better than movies because they have more stuff to work with.
Well, except the Avengers and Gotham
Avengers.
Knights, but
Oh yeah, yeah,
yeah, that those are the only exceptions. But like Spider-Man and the Guardians, I mean, well, okay, I take that back. I did like Miss Marvel in the Avengers game compared to the MCU. I think she
yeah,
was done better in the game. But everybody else was the pale imitation of what they are in the MCU and the comics, obviously.
yeah, and like Guardians is one of the most. Guardians is Guardians is the game was one of the
I
most
disagree.
well
Arkham
received.
Gaming, the Gotham Knights story is not a. It's not good. It's not good at all.
Oh, you want to know? You want to know what it is? It's basically the Court of Owls versus the League of Assassins.
Yeah, but they bench the Court of Owls,
Yes, they do.
and then they do the exact same thing that they did in Arkham City. So it's like, well, what's the point?
Yeah, and you're right. All the other villains, Harley, Mr. Freeze, Clayface, are all side character. They're all side missions. And my problem with this game, there's a lack of villains. I mean, I don't need to see the Joker, Two-Face, or like Poison Ivy. But I could maybe like other smaller villains.
Well, they picked three characters that played such a significant role in the Arkham games.
Yeah.
Right? Like all three of those characters had a very, very substantial role. So I don't know why they picked those three. Right? Like go with someone they could. I mean, Hush also had a significant role, but Arkham Knight kind of ruined it.
Arkham Knight just ruined this whole thing, man. That was disappointment. Hush, besides the comics, in any forms of media besides the comics, they do dirty.
Yeah, it's just I don't know what they were thinking, especially with Arkham Knight. I mean, the story for Arkham Knight, in my opinion, was very disappointing. But Gotham Knights just feels like a nothing burger. There's nothing significant, nothing really.
No.
Maybe maybe the characterization is okay, but to me, if someone was saying on Twitter that they feel like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and that's exactly what it is. That's like the most accurate assessment I've heard about Gotham Knights.
The only good thing is about the reminiscing about Bruce Wayne. That's all.
Yeah, I think the game could have been much better than what we got. And to be honest, there's other things to play, so I'll just wait for a sale. Yeah, I had a friend just like tell me all about it, and I was like, yeah, I'm definitely not buying this game anytime soon.
Yeah, it's the story is lackluster, but the other stuff with the game is fine, like the patrolling, all the other side, the menacing. That's all is good, but
yeah,
yeah, I'm pretty sure Kevin Feige knew. Come on, Kevin Feige didn't know. I'm sure he knew.
I don't even. To be honest, I would not be surprised if he didn't know.
And I think he should be worried because Marvel's way ahead. But if James Gunn and DC could get Superman right, and the other characters, they could get Batman and DCU right. I'm sorry, but there's no Marvel character in MCU that will do better.
Well, if you think about it, though, right? Like they made James Gunn the head of DC because
on the creative
it
side,
makes the most logical sense. It's not, yeah, the creative side, but if you also think about it, James Gunn knows Marvel's business plan as well. Like, and if you see how James Gunn shot the Suicide Squad, it was very similar to how they would shoot a Marvel movie.
The tone was very similar to rated R.
Sure, but just like the filmmaking process of it, right? He shot it in less than a year, which is what Marvel does. He edited it very quickly. It was relatively cheap for a movie that looked very expensive, right? So he's obviously learned what he did on the two Guardians movies, and now he's going to now apply that to DC. So I'm sure Kevin Feige is sweating bullets because it's like, well, you just gave this man your recipe. And now he's going off to make another business, right? So,
if James Gunn, if they could make Superman popular again amongst the public, the general audiences, Batman is fine, but like I said, we agree blind on this. No character in Marvel is bigger than Batman and Superman. Maybe Spider-Man, but Spider-Man's probably like.
Well, Marvel doesn't even have Spider-Man.
Justice League, the movie Justice League, should have been bigger than any of the Avengers movie, maybe besides if Endgame and Infinity War. But should be bigger more
Yeah,
so and the first Avengers movie.
and I still think if Batman vs Superman was
Yeah,
like,
that
let's say
too.
if that got like an 80 on RT and it was like good word of mouth, that movie would have been bigger than Civil War.
And you know what? It was gonna at its first weekend. It was on pace to be bigger than Civil War.
Yeah, it was. And then the second weekend had like one of the worst drop offs for these types of movies. But like these Snyder fans never mention that. They never mention how Batman vs Superman was handicapped because of the quality.
Yes, yes, and I think it's I do see a lot of I don't know. I feel like I feel like Marvel right now is where DC is having issues. I know they announced a bunch of projects, but it seems like they're having production issues now with some of their upcoming stuff, right?
Mhm.
Like what DC was at one point, right? Like and like Blade, that's a big blow,
Yeah.
right? Like Doctor Strange 2 was changed so many times, but they got the pandemic to work with Doctor Strange, so at least the pandemic could have delayed it. But with Blade, there's no pandemic excuse,
Hmm.
right? Um, see
No,
the
and that
thing
was just quality control.
because we know Black Panther is Phase 4 ending, right? Phase 5 begins with Ant Man and some of the shows. I'm worried about the
Secret
second
Invasion.
half. I'm worried about the middle part of Phase 5 and the end of Phase 5.
Hmm. Yeah. Um what is in the middle of Phase 5 anyway?
It was supposed to be right. It was supposed to be Captain America. Captain America might be fine. That wasn't moved, right? Captain America New
Well,
World
that
wasn't moved.
no, that
That movie,
wasn't moved, but um, well, yeah, I guess that would now be the middle
movie
because
can do
Phase
2024, right?
5
Yeah,
ends in 2025.
yeah. The phases are not like 10 years this time.
Isn't it 2025 it ends because
Well,
Fantastic
I
Four
think it's
got
end.
moved up?
I think it'd be 2026 for because I think Secret Wars is 2026. So I think 2026 might be the end of Phase 5, 6 of the
Six.
Multiverse Saga. Yeah,
Six.
yeah. Multiverse Saga,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
The Multiverse Saga is much shorter than the Infinity Saga. You could tell. You could tell.
Well, it's not. I mean, the thing is, it's much shorter in terms of years, but it has more content.
Yes, that's more, and I think that could be that could be. I think that's an issue,
Yes,
right?
because whatever the storyline is, it's going to have to fold into these Disney Plus shows.
And there's talk about this. Some of these Disney Plus stuff shows becoming specials. It seems, and like they haven't even filmed. I guess a show. Yeah, I think that's next month. I thought that was filming
Hmm.
already.
No, that comes out in 2024, like late
Oh, really?
2024.
Why? Like, okay. At least they're going through with it. At least when DC announced a bunch of projects about a couple years ago, like half of them got canceled,
Mm.
right? I think
Yeah,
I
most of
think
them do get canceled.
Marvel. I think Marvel, but they likes quantity now. I think the problem is I think with this phase, they're focusing too much on quantity than quality. I
Mm.
mean, the saga. I mean, Ant Man looks good. The trailer looks for Ant Man 3 looks really really good. But this to be honest, trailers don't judge a book by its cover. With trailers,
Yeah, we have to watch the movie because some of
yeah,
these trailers are misleading on purpose.
yeah. I mean, trailers wasn't BVS trailer when it showed Doomsday that was a laugh, but BVS trailer got people hyped, and what happened? It was a terrible movie. Trailers are
Hmm.
there's been bad trailers that actually had good movies, and vice versa.
Well, I would have wondered if because remember the last trailer is what ruined the movie because it just like it showed Doomsday, it showed Wonder Woman. I'm pretty sure Wonder Woman
They
wasn't
should
in the trailers up until that point. So it was like, well, they just put like a ton of different things
they should
in
they
that
should
last trailer.
they should
They
never
should have
let them.
hold off.
They
Yeah, they
should
should
never
have
let
just
them.
hold off because if they did, I don't think I think it still would have been the same, but I don't think that second weekend would have been that bad. Because then people would have been like, "Oh shit, I heard and this was in the movie. I'm gonna go see it."
Yeah,
Right? Even if it's bad, they're like, "Well, Wonder Woman's in it, so maybe I'll go see it."
yeah. And guys, they didn't. You know, who ruined Superman? The New 52. When they went to New 50, they ruined Superman.
Mm.
When they went to New 52,
Well, I think Bendis has also ruined Superman. I don't know what
yeah.
the hell he's doing over there, and now he left. So
I
that
mean,
that
New
seems
52
to be
ruined.
Bendis's mo is like he ruins shit, and then people are like, "What the hell? This is crap," and then he just dips. So like, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes back to Marvel now.
But yeah, Marvel and everybody's getting great reviews about Black Panther too. Okay, good. I'm hopeful it's gonna do well. But they said about Thor, Love and Thunder.
Mm.
And they said about every Marvel
They said
movie
that
though.
they say that about everything. They said that about
Yeah,
Black Adam too.
I personally think they get paid by the
Yeah,
studio.
I told you why. The reason I'm not. I'll
Yeah.
say it again just so like if people are hearing. The reason why people put out these glowing reviews and it's all like if you read it right, it's like, oh wow, it makes the movie sound so amazing. They use all these fancy words and shit. Well, that's because a lot of these tweets end up in commercials and trailers, right? Like you if you actually are watching some of the quotes, you'll realize that most of them now are from
Oh yeah.
tweets.
You hear on the commercials, right? All the time, oh,
Hmm.
this trade said this about the movie, and I'm like watching that, and I watched that movie. No, that movie wasn't good just because it's.
Yeah. Well, now you'll see Twitter users on there in some of these TV spots. Like they
Oh,
used Grace's tweets for Shang-Chi, right?
Grace.
I remember seeing that and being so shocked. Yeah, they used her quotes and then she was like talking about it on Twitter and I saw the spot before all that happened and I was shocked because I was like, "Whoa, they just literally just took her tweet and put it in a commercial." It's crazy.
As long as it's not a Jessica Chastain or Henry Cavill movie.
Mm-mm.
Man, she got so salty over that. Oh my god, Henry Cavill.
Well, she was salty over the James Gunn getting in.
Of course,
She
because
was
James
she was
Gunn.
super condescending. She was like, "Oh yeah, it's good for him, but like, what does this mean for the DC brand?" It's like, bruh, he didn't hasn't even greenlit anything yet.
He doesn't. He's not officially worked there yet until November 1st. He
Yeah,
can't do
so
anything.
uh,
And
I don't know.
He's not the one that actually greenlit stuff. He has to actually still go. Like,
Well, yeah, he has a partner that he has to work
yeah,
with, so
yeah, yeah. Kevin Feige, I think, has to greenlit stuff. But if not Bob Iger, Bob Shaker says no to his whatever, no, he's still taking his
yeah,
boss.
which I mean, I think is super rare at this point, unless like Kevin Feige is like delivering stinker after stinker. Then I feel like Bob Chapek will step in.
Yeah, the thing about MCU with the movies, they don't deliver stinker after stinker.
No,
Except
as
for
much I mean,
2013.
they still do okay. Like Love and Thunder did okay at the box office. I don't think they have to worry yet.
It did okay to box office, but but I think it in Marvel standards, it did not do okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what the Marvel standard is now, though.
Of like a
If you really
billion.
think about it, because I don't think it is a billion. Because like
I don't know.
before Infinity War, most Marvel movies were averaging like 700. So if they're making 700, then that just means that they went back to normal, which was already
Well,
good before. So what's the problem?
Captain Marvel made a billion, right? That's
Yeah, it was
I
Captain.
want
It was 2019. Yeah, it was like one after the other. They all made a billion,
Black Panther
or more
probably
than a billion.
they'll probably make. I
Yeah,
mean, I think
Black Panther, Infinity War, but Ant Man didn't make a billion. I don't even think Ant Man even made close to 700. It was
yeah.
like
Well, I think
650 or
Quantumania
something.
might be the most. If Quantumania was hyped out as it be, it's probably be the most made box office out of
Yeah,
all the Ant Man.
and that's the yeah. I told you my predictions changed on that one after I saw the trailer.
Yeah, it looks that trailer looked top notch. Like the Quantum Realm looks amazing. You see
Hmm.
what Kang looks like, or at least if that's the actual Kang. Because
Hmm.
there's variants of Kang. Yeah, Kang is gonna be like in a bunch of movies. That's
I
different
think it's a
variants.
variant. That's my
Yeah,
theory.
that's definitely a variant.
I think that what's going to end up happening is that they kill him, but he kind of like dies this death where he's like kind of laughing, kind of
Kind
like,
of
well,
like
I'm not dead just yet, right? Like that.
kind of like Loki season 1.
Yeah,
Like,
but more like villainous, obviously, because
oh
he
yeah,
wasn't playing a villain in Loki just yet.
no. And Loki season 2 still revolves around Kang a bit. I know that.
Hmm.
And the people are pissed off. I know this is a DCEU. People are pissed off that Doctor Doom's not in Black Panther 2. I'm like, so what? So what? We're gonna get him. Relax. Like,
Yeah.
who cares? If you're just gonna see the movie just for Doctor Doom to be in it, then don't see the movie.
Well, it kind of whoever put out that rumor a couple of months ago, like,
And all the scoopers started to follow up on that, saying they heard the same thing. I'm like, no, probably not.
yeah, and then now they're saying, well, they took him out of the movie. I mean, to be honest, with the subject matter of the movie, I don't believe he was ever in it. I think what
Oh,
happened was they shot a post credit scene for any movie, and that they could insert it
they do that
into.
all the time. They do it all the time.
Yeah, because remember the rumor is that Doctor Doom is a character that has already existed even before Endgame, right? Because if you remember in Ant-Man and the Wasp, there is a character that is mentioned. I'm forgetting what the term was. Like he's this merchant or something. I can't remember how they described him, but that this character has never been revealed. This is a character that's been pulling the strings in a lot of other movies, like in Spider-Man: Far From Home, and the rumor is that he's also pulling the strings here too, because of what something happens in the beginning of this movie,
Oh
and
yeah,
so
like the
that
war, right? He's manipulated the
yes,
war. Yeah.
yeah. So I don't think he's in it, but I definitely think that he is. His, there is a connection to him that we just won't know until whenever they decide to reveal him, I guess.
This there is gonna be an after credit scene. We all know that Marvel never does like a no after credit scene. We'll see. I mean, like, I just think the scoopers are saying, "Oh, I heard he was in it." And on one scooper says, and the other scoopers follow up, and they hear things change. Oh, he's not gonna be in it. Not gonna be in it. You know what I think?
Mm,
They, we tax Sil and Mikey for not admitting they're wrong. These scoopers, some of these other scoopers that we believe that we follow, don't double down too. They don't admit they're wrong. We just don't
yeah,
call them out.
I'm. I mean, the thing is, they aren't also inclined to come out and say that they're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason for them to, because we know, if I have to give them the benefit of doubt, right? Not trying to say I want to defend them, but it is true that if they came out and said I'm wrong, nobody
The
would
credibility.
really. Yeah, they would. Everybody would start being like, "Well, we'll never trust you again." Right? We'll never trust you again. I don't know if it will lead to mass unfollows, but I think
I
that
mean, they
that's
do
their
hide. Some
rationale.
of them do hide without names, right? So that tells you
Yeah.
something. There's some scoopers that have names, some that don't.
Hmm.
Like they're like
Degrassi
these.
says that Quantumania
Yeah,
looks like a mess
I
visually.
know.
I could see that. Yeah.
I see some people compare it to when the
Spy
backdrops.
Kids.
Yes, yes, the green screen of the Spy Kids.
It does look like that, but I mean, premise wise, I'm more excited about the premise wise because I've never really been impressed by any of the Marvel CGI anyway, as of recently. So
No,
that
DC is
wasn't the thing
better.
that bothered me.
Black Adam had better CGI than any Marvel movie.
Kind of. It still was that. Whatever happened in that ending,
The Batman
it
had
kind
better
of turned into
CGI.
that.
I'm joking. Batman did that by CGI.
Well, yeah, the Batman did have better
I know,
CGI
but
because
not
it's
that much.
well, it is actually a lot. It's just not noticeable, right? Like
That
some of
doesn't make it
the
good.
effects. Yeah, I mean, if you there's David Fincher says that good CGI is almost invisible, right? And it's
Yeah,
true.
because
Like you shouldn't be able to know if it's CGI or
if you
not.
know something, for example, every hero that wears a cape, all capes is CGI.
Yeah.
because it would interfere with the combat if you have an actual cape. Like,
Yeah, and also too, they probably couldn't get it right to move
oh yeah,
anyway.
yeah. So James Gunn here. Saffron's on the business side, and Degrassi is the one who told us me about this last week. And,
Shout out to him, by the way.
yeah. I knew every. The reason I don't tell people is because I like to get people excited. I know
Yeah, that
Max.
was exciting.
Yeah, Max doesn't like to get excited. He wants to know scoops, rumors right away. He's like, it's more to me. Sometimes it's more exciting when it's just breaking out of nowhere.
If it's really big news, then in my opinion,
Yeah,
I wish nobody would say anything. Just let us see it for ourselves and be
that's why I
shocked.
do it. That's why if I find if somebody tells me something that actually eventually comes true, that tells me something a week ahead or something like that, I wait for it becomes official because
Mm.
I'm not a scooper. People call me a scooper. I'm not a scooper.
Mm-mm.
Never claimed to be one. I don't have connections to anybody in the film industry. I mean, Degrassi is the closest one, but like, I don't have anybody like. I don't have access to studios, agencies, or anything like that. I don't have access to that. Like the entertain. I mean, nobody got the Hercules thing right, and I'm the one who got Hercules right, and I guess
Yeah, no one was really talking about Hercules.
I
Yeah.
know. And if some website was listening to my YouTube stream about Thor: Love and Thunder about Hercules appearing, and they said this AWO reports that Hercules came in, and I'll be like, and it comes true. I'll be like, I'll say no, I just guessed it. I don't have any inside information. I'll just say I guessed it.
I don't know who. Well, someone did hint toward Hercules, but it was not them claiming Hercules was in the movie.
I heard
Their
Hercules
claim
was
was
last minute.
Yeah, well, their claim was that the MCU was adding someone from Ted Lasso in an upcoming project, and so a lot of people thought,
Jason's
it was going to be him, but obviously it wasn't, and they thought it was like something in like She-Hulk or something like that, right? They didn't think it was in Thor, so yeah, that was the only person I saw who actually got that right.
Mm-hmm.
And no one mentioned it. I can't remember who that person was, but they don't really put out scoops like that.
It was last minute though. Like Hercules was really last minute. Like, oh yeah, the truth. Yeah, you're not a scuba Degrassi, because
Well, yeah, you don't go out there and try to clout chase and put out information and
I see you tweet.
rile up people's hopes.
I see you tweet, and you don't tweet scoops.
Yeah, he doesn't do that. Yeah.
No, he doesn't. No.
That's why I said to him, I said, that's why I respect your opinion, because like I know he knows a lot more that he lets on. Yeah, so I'll never doubt him.
And I think he knows more than some of the scoopers on like My Time to Shine. Have a lot of things he knows more than her. And I don't know. But yeah, so Superman, we might get a second Superman. So
this got some people's feathers ruffled.
If I was on a stream, like I think it was Brian. Brian had a great stream like a couple of nights ago with a lot of people. If the second movie involves Brainiac, I think a good idea to put Supergirl in it. Because
I think she'll be in the movie.
Yeah. I mean,
especially if she's a fan favorite.
Mm-hmm.
She's definitely going to be in the movie. I don't know what capacity, but
yes, see, exactly right. Like it's like I like CGH, but he says CJ. You've been on streams with me. CJ says, "Well, how do you? I mean, it would take CJs, right? I mean, you could do
yeah.
You could do a scene in one day, easily. And he's like, take weeks for this to happen. I think I was talking about the Doctor Strange thing with the cameos and how the cameos were kind of like put in the reshoots. I'm like, you could do that. You could do that all in one day with each actor. Patrick Stewart was in Toronto when he did that. You could do.
You can do that anywhere.
Yeah.
You got green screen, throw it up, and just shoot the scene. Yeah,
It doesn't take.
yeah.
It
It's
doesn't
not.
take.
It doesn't
It
take
doesn't take
long.
a few days. It just you gotta do that 1 or 2 days. Look, I'm a wrestling guy, right? I'm a wrestling guy. Wrestling is live Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. And well, when they're not actually doing the wrestling stuff like that, they're cutting promos on the mic, or they have to do this. Sometimes they have to do the acting and well, they all do that live, and they all do that live. And you know what the difference between acting and wrestling is? Acting you could do multiple takes. In wrestling, you have one shot, especially if you're live on TV.
Hmm.
And if you screw up, you screw up. Meant to happen. At least in shows and movies, you have takes. I mean, wrestling you could do if there's tapings, yeah. Sometimes wrestling does have tapings, but you could do all that stuff in 1 or 2 days. I mean, some actors go on set for one day just to do some other scenes.
Mm.
It's like they don't work for 6, 7 months. You know that, right, guys? You know.
Mm-mm.
um, but yeah, yeah, we definitely need Supergirl. And the Flash saying the script, the Flash though, they ready the second script written,
Hmm.
right? But like, I think it
Uh,
depends on the success of the first movie.
sure, I I agree, but I also think this is actually a good thing because I think one of the biggest problems, especially with these franchises, is they know regardless that they're going to make a sequel, but these scripts are not in place. You know what I mean? Like, I think it would be much more effective if you just okay, the script is greenlit and you're partway through and you have like test screenings and people like it, then you should just greenlight the script already, just to have it. So okay, this is successful at the box office. You could start, finalizing the
Dude,
script and start
I
shooting in like a year and a half.
I don't put my stock in test screenings that much either because they do that for
Mm,
video games, and why would they these buggy video games where they test
mm.
it? Because they do that for video games that have a bunch of bugs that need fixing. And they test them.
Oh yeah, pull up Degrassi's comic because this I've seen this too.
This one?
This is some game changing stuff. Yes, what they do with previs and storyboarding, it's very impressive. And a lot of the times they end up you not well. It's a basis for the CGI too in the ending. Because I have the art book for the Batman, and they kind of talk about a little bit of
Yeah.
yeah, the shots and using previs and how it actually helps them later on when they start finalizing the shot. More so than if you were just using a drawing, right? Because you still it's still not going to be exactly like the shot when you're drawing, unless it's like you go really detailed and make it very specific. But you're never going to get the look of the focal length or how it's going to look on camera. But you can kind of get to that when you're doing previs, right? Or just if you're making a storyboard with models in like I don't know Blender. If you're like a small indie filmmaker, so I think that stuff is really impressive. Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, what else is there? Wonder Woman 3 looks like it's gonna happen, but I don't mind if the rumored story is that it's gonna be Steve Treasure in Greek underworld, then I'm not buying that. I'm
Mm-hmm.
selling that. I don't want I want Cersei as a villain, and I don't want Steve Trevor as like
Coming back.
why? Third
I
time,
think
why?
it's. I think they. I think they messed up by not like they. It's just them trying to like make it where it's like it's her and Steve.
Yeah.
You can't really insert anybody else into the equation because that requires a lot more to set up, right? Setting up a new relationship in a movie, and then a
They
lot
were
of
trying
people might not buy it.
they were trying to do that Batman and Wonder Woman and Diana. You could tell in the Justice League they were trying even both versions were trying
Hmm.
to develop a relationship between the two, you know?
Hmm.
I don't see I think that story is fake and false.
I
I don't
think
think
it's
it's happening.
fake too.
I don't even think
Yes.
if I had a villain, It's not Hades. It's Cersei. Cersei is my villain because to me, she has lackluster villains. Cheetah was okay, but like the movie overall is
Mhm.
not good. Maxwell Lord was not Maxwell Lord from the comics. That Maxwell Lord, oh my god. And Ares, that was as much as Wonder Woman 17 was, Ares was not good. Let's be honest,
Mhm.
there it was not good. We need somebody that Wonder Woman could have a challenge with, a true challenge with, and Cersei is perfect for that. Cersei is perfect for a magic user because she already hasn't got up anybody that used magic in the DCU. I mean,
Mhm.
she has gone up against magic. Like Cheetah was
Well,
driven by magic, and
to be fair though, I
yeah,
mean we haven't seen Shazam. Just saying,
yeah,
because that would actually be the first time where she would go up against someone with magic.
that's true. I just think Cersei would be perfect for her.
Yeah, I think that it makes sense that she's the villain for Wonder Woman 3.
And
But I
you got
wonder if
Giganta.
it's
You got Giganta. You know, Giganta could be like a side villain. You know, Giganta to me is not a main villain for a movie.
mm,
She could be like a
yeah, yeah.
you know, or you got Doctor Psycho, but I don't think they want to go down that road because isn't he more of a misogynist psycho? I mean, years
Mm,
ago might work. I mean, she did have misogynist characters, villains, didn't she? Wonder Woman.
uh, I mean, I guess, but I wouldn't really
Uh,
describe it
yeah.
like that.
She was a joke of her bondage if she gets wrapped in her own. That's her joke.
Yes, yeah, that ongoing. Yeah, because the creator was into BDMS. So
Yes. Did you see the movie with Chris? Was it Chris Evans? Not Chris Evans. Luke Evans.
no, I haven't seen the movie.
Oh yeah, who plays the
When did that come out?
a couple years ago? Maybe 2018, 7. I think 18.
Mm,
Yeah, yeah. The creator, William Marsden, right?
mm, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think that's his name. Yeah, yeah. Makes sense. Polygraph test. That's all
Yes,
true.
yeah,
What's
that
the
too.
shot of truth? Yeah. uh, I don't know, man. It's gonna be different. After Secret Wars, it's gonna be different. It's gonna be more. I think it's gonna be more X Men related.
Hmm.
And
But
don't do X Men.
Marcus, what would you think if they did Avengers versus X-Men? Because that's what I think Phase 7, 8, and 9 is going to be about.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome. They're not gonna do it with the Phoenix Five, are they?
Ooh, I hope not. But
Ah. I read that story. It was Emma Frost, Cyclops, Majik, Magneto. Who was the other one? Shit. Was it Colossus?
I don't remember at all, if I'm being honest.
His granddaughter is on Facebook. I know that for a fact.
Hmm.
William Lewis. Yeah.
When does would Wonder Woman technically go into public domain?
I don't know.
Because I know Batman and Superman are coming close.
I mean,
Yeah,
this
yeah, I
thing
kind of
about
agree, Marcus.
this thing about how The Rock or some people think Warner Brothers and Disney are gonna work together again, have a Marvel versus DC. I'll tell you, it's not gonna happen. But I think Marvel and Kevin Feige would be open to it. I don't think Warner Brothers would be.
I really don't think they'll ever do a Marvel
No.
versus DC movie, just because logistics. I mean, logistically, they can't even do it in the comics, right?
Yeah, they haven't for like
They,
years.
yeah, they haven't done it for years, and it just seems like it's really hard to do. But I could see them doing something what they do right now in the comics, which is they kind of hint toward the characters, or they would kind of show the characters. I could see something like that happening,
They gotta be
right? Like a
careful.
cameo but
Oh yeah.
like,
I mean,
yeah, where it's like it's not the main focus. I could see something like that.
they did talk. They did say Superman and Eternals, but that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
And Superman could. And if they have Superman in the MC, if they do Superman, if they end up having this thing with Superman, has to be very powerful. Don't job him out. Don't
Hmm.
don't you know? And
Well,
don't
well,
forget,
I say if they're going to make a Superman movie, I say okay. One, the director should be um, Christopher McQuarrie. Christopher McQuarrie should be the one who's directing Superman, right? Just because one, he's already proved himself as a good action director, and I think he also wants to tell more of these sort of franchise stories with a little bit more heart and like messaging, right?
okay.
And I
Here's
think it's kind of lacking in the Mission Possible movies because you can't do that there.
here's the
But
thing
yeah, what were you gonna say?
about this I don't mind live action for video games. I think I could work on some video games, but anime it only works rarely. Anime live action
Yeah.
anime rarely works. Can you imagine a live action Dragon Ball Z? I know they tried it in 2010. That was a terrible movie. But yeah, if you ever watch a Dragon Ball Z episode, if you think Marvel has a lot of CGI, you got like Marvel characters doing energy attacks or teleportation once in a while. Look at Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z would more like be like Black Adam in that sense. And like no, I
Well,
think with anime,
I saw I think it was a Chinese action movie. I have to look and find this up. I saw a clip and
for
the action sequences looked like an anime. I
yes,
have to show you
exactly.
that. I have to show you that because this is a recent movie and it was very like I mean it was kind of corny, sure, but like it was still somewhat impressive that they got it to look like an anime, but it was
The thing
live
is,
action.
anime is so over the top usually,
Yes.
and it doesn't really work in Hollywood all that much. Sometimes it works, but sometimes it does. I mean, like, you can't do a Pokemon. You can't do a live action. I mean, Detective Pikachu was different, but you can't do a live action Pokemon because if you get something, if because like if they Charmander accidentally puts you on fire, I'm sorry, you're burned. If you get electrocuted, you're electrocuted, man. Like, and it might be
Mm.
because like that's you can't do a live action like Digimon. And Dragon Ball Z live action, I mean, like, yeah, you could do that, but it won't look good. It won't look good. You could do live. It's just anime's always been over the top. That's just that's that's
I,
that's
I think they're going to make more video game adaptations. I don't know
yeah.
if it'll be successful though.
Yeah, they
Because
are.
if you're going to have a bunch of people who are in these writing rooms that don't play the games anyway, I think it's going to be a disaster. To be honest,
You know
it's
what?
never going to kick off.
You know which game they should adapt into the movie? Infamous. That's a
I would like to see Infamous. Uh,
it's like a comic book movie. It's like a
I,
comic book
I,
game, basically.
if you're gonna pick a comic book game, like I wouldn't mind seeing Prototype.
Oh,
I think
prototype.
Prototype would be very unique. Yeah, Infamous. I can't really see what would be unique in a movie for Infamous, just because I mean those games weren't so story focused,
Well,
right? Like they
for
weren't. They never really felt unique to me. I was never really attached to Cole as a character, so that's the only reason why I'm like,
well, we're not gonna get a '90s action live action. You're getting a '97 continuation of the '90s show, Marcus.
mm,
That's what
I, I
that's what
would
they
I would want to see what happens in Secret Wars first.
yeah. I think Secret Wars has a potential to be a mess.
Mm.
Yeah, I just don't. If they do it right,
Yeah,
like Endgame, if they do it right, like Endgame, everybody comes back. Sure.
I I kind of hope they don't do that because then it will just be predictable.
Yeah, exactly. That's what people are gonna assume, right? With Secret Wars, oh, everybody from all the from who's still whoever's still alive or whatever, it's gonna be in the final battle of Secret Wars. It's gonna be like Endgame over again,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, I'm guessing like this would be the guess that I have just looking at it is Kang would be like Secret Wars 2015, where it's leading up to an incursion, and then Secret Wars is more like the 80s comic where they're on Battle World, right? Which I mean they did that in the 2015, but it was more about the incursions and trying to stop one, right? So I think that's probably what's going to happen. I mean, well, I shouldn't say probably. That's my guess, right? I don't want that to happen because that would be
Marvel,
too.
Marvel, Marvel has to be careful to confuse people with the multiverse thing. Multiverse is to me
Well,
is
well,
strictly just
the confusing part of it is that they introduce incursions,
yes.
right? And then so
So
far we have yet to like they introduced that in a post credit scene, and it's like, whoa, that's like a big deal, right?
how come?
And we
How
have
come?
yet to see one.
How come he didn't? How come she didn't appear in? She should have appeared in Spider-Man: No Way Home when he did the multiverse thing for Spider-Man. Erase his memory. He opened up a bunch of from the Fox universe, whatever. I don't know, but the Raimi universe. Like,
Mm. Well, an easy way of just showing an incursion is just there's another Earth in the sky. That's the
yes,
easiest way you could show an incursion, right? Instead of like that was the weird part of Doctor Strange is like they just talk about this big event thing that's about to happen, and it's like, why don't you show that?
here's okay. Here's the thing though. Why can't they just focus on both of them? Doctor Doom could be a Loki type villain, or I know, or hero, whatever. You could focus on. He could be basically like Loki, hero and villain. Kang always a villain,
Hmm.
and Doctor Doom has been more heroic in the comics. He's like,
Sometimes.
yeah, he's he's mostly like Loki. They could just make Doctor Doom just basically like Loki, okay? Or Zemo, or some of the people in the Thunderbolts. Some people in the Thunderbolts are not heroes. It's, you don't have to be black and white, Not like
So I think a lot of
he.
people do want to see Evil Doom sometimes. I think you can make him like those characters, but he has to have a very different
I
personality
know what
and
I want.
make a lot of different
I know people.
decisions.
I want people. I know people are hyped about Kang, but I want Doctor Doom to be the main villain of face of multiverse saga. Like they defeat Kang, and Doctor Doom's like takes all the power because Doctor Doom's obsessed with power. He'll learn science, the mystic arts, stuff like that, right? And in the multiverse stuff, the universe, he wants to be the most powerful being pretty much in the universe.
The only reason why I disagree with this is just because Doctor Doom's thing in Secret Wars, that was like, if you think about it, that was years of character building, and that was him trying to get his mom back. So if you just introduce him in a post-credit scene and
Well,
he's not in another, he doesn't get his own standalone, show or whatever it may be to establish his relationship with his mom, then I say don't do Doctor Doom because people are going to get really disappointed. And it's one of my criticism of Thanos. Thanos was rushed,
mm-hmm.
and they did a disservice to him.
They're kind of introducing three big villains in this phase: Kang, Mephisto, and Doctor Doom. We don't,
Well, we'll
right?
see about Mephisto.
Mephisto. I don't know how I feel
Yeah.
about Sacha Baron Cohen as Mephisto. I mean, he's not going to look like Sacha Baron Cohen, but I don't know how I'm going to feel about him. He's very talented, but
Mm-hmm.
I just never pictured him as Mephisto.
Mm-hmm. I can see them kind of. They want an actor who's a little bit more jokey, but also can be serious,
But
because
that's not.
I mean he can do both.
Yes, but I don't want Mephisto to be jokey. I want to be the freaking devil.
But I mean he is kind of a jokey, sarcastic character at times. Like
Oh yeah.
he plays around with a
Well,
lot of
he's not.
people.
He says he's Satan, but there's a lot of people in Marvel claim to be Satan. There's no actual Satan,
Mm.
right? I think because there's also.
Well, Marvel has set up a lot of big things, though. I mean, Eternals has a really bit leaves off on a big cliffhanger,
Mm-hmm.
and we have yet to see what. I mean,
Really?
they're right now they're doing the whole Celestial War in the comics with Avengers, X-Men, and Eternals crossing over.
How I don't see how Eternals fits into the into the
Well, the
multiverse saga.
Celestial War, yeah, they don't.
Oh,
I don't think they do. I don't think we're going to get Eternals 2 anytime soon. Maybe 2026.
that's just yeah. That's the thing about it. Feels like they're going different genres, and like the space stuff doesn't really fit all that much. Just I don't know if Guardians would
Not
fit.
yet, at least.
Yeah.
No, I don't think. Guardians seems like it's gonna wrap up what was the character's story. Not that
Well,
it's gonna set up anything.
if Mephisto's Satan, then the son of Satan should be what Blackheart.
Well, Son of Satan is what's his name? Well, I don't know if he'll be in the MCU because they he had his own show. Remember? What's his name? I'm forgetting his name.
Ooh.
I'm totally blanking on his name. He's not a character that I'm familiar with, to be honest. But he has his own. He got his own show, and they removed the
Hellstorm.
Marvel logo. Hellstorm, yeah. Hellstorm is the son of Satan.
Yeah, but oh, that's true.
Yeah, I
He's
don't
not
really know
Indian.
much about the character, but I know that on some of his comics it says he's the son of Satan.
Yeah, but I thought there's a bunch of people that claim to be Satan in Marvel. Like
Yeah, Hellstorm. Yeah.
I think Mephisto claims to be Satan too.
Mm.
I think they want to keep the actual Satan mysterious in Marvel comics because there is a Lucifer in Marvel,
Mm.
right? It's not like DC. DC, well, right now DC has Nirwan in actual Lucifer Morningstar. Like if you consider Vertigo DC, is it Vertigo?
Well, yeah, there. I mean, it is slightly connected. It has to be connected.
Yeah, because Constantine was Vertigo at one point, and he's been mostly in DC.
And Sandman was a reboot of a DC
Yeah,
character. Yeah,
yeah,
I don't know about. I think it is out of continuity, but I have to do some research into that because I always thought about that. I never really looked for an answer.
yeah. So you see, I don't know how the space, I don't know the space stuff and the supernatural stuff to that fits with the multiverse stuff. I mean, Mephisto can with if Doctor Doom with Mephisto can. I mean, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Christopher and Colin.
Well, I don't think. Well, I don't think he's gonna be
Why is
a
Silver Surfer?
Satan-like character.
Why is the rumor out there that Silver Surfer make a special? That's a dumb idea.
It kind of makes sense because I think they want to introduce him early,
Okay.
but they don't know how. They don't know how. That's the thing. Like you couldn't do a Silver Surfer movie
Here's the thing.
anytime soon.
I have a stupid, crazy idea. If they introduce, like, I think Ironheart's the worst debut for Mephisto. Personally, I don't want Mephisto appearing in a Disney Plus show like Ironheart.
Mm.
Huh,
Well, he's
I know.
showing up because of the hood.
Yeah, I know, but like, Mephisto's too big for that.
Mm.
Why?
Well, to me, it seems like a mismatch. I understand the hood's in it, and he's connected with Mephisto, but uh, it just doesn't make much sense to me.
Because they don't want Dormammu. I'm like, okay, Dormammu, yeah, I understand that. Couldn't they just use somebody else as a demon who could give magic, not just whatever? I mean, Ghost Rider has to be happening soon, you know?
I don't think so.
Fuck, if you don't have Mephisto, how you don't have Ghost Rider?
So I don't. Again, this is a scooper, so just take it with a grain of salt. I'll just have to keep saying that
Oh
every time I
yeah.
mention it. But someone said, I think it was Charles Murphy who said this. Who said that there's been no like movement on anything Ghost Rider related.
Geek also said Norman Reedus is gonna be Ghost Rider. And I'm like, what, because he rides a motorcycle?
Oh God. So I'm inclined to kind of believe Charles Murphy, and just because he's gotten things right before.
He's not a scooper person. I mean, he does report scoops.
He does
His
do
scoops were
scoops.
legitimate. Yeah, but
He doesn't post like a scoop like every week. They're trying to
No,
get like some. No, yeah,
I think he does more research or must stuff like that.
yeah. I think he is right though. Like, I mean, I don't have any sort of information, but if you just do deductive reasoning, like there's no real movement on Blade for the next 2 years, right? Werewolf by Night really didn't set up anything that people thought it was going to set up, right? And I mean, if they were going to come out and double down on the supernatural, then why wouldn't they double down on the most popular supernatural Marvel character? So and I also think that the reason why they haven't done anything is because they don't know which version to use. I think that's
Yeah,
their biggest problem.
I remember. I remember a couple months ago. Oh, they want to bring out Gabriel Luna
Hmm.
from the
But
show.
they
They just
can't.
killed him. Yeah.
He's going to be tied up with The Last of Us unless they don't shoot The Last of Us 2 um in the
Season
next like
two.
2-3 years. Yeah, because he has a significant role in the second part. Like you couldn't cut out his character. Yeah, I
Really?
heard the news. It
When?
was some
When?
I think the
Did it
director,
break
what
today?
was the movie he did? It was like an A24 movie.
Did it break today?
Yeah, yeah, it was on the direct reported on it. I saw that.
Oh, oh crap! Elon Musk is in charge of Twitter.
Hmm.
Doctor Doom will not report be the main villain in MCU's Fantastic Four film. The discussion film reported that. Yeah, we knew that.
Hmm.
We knew
I think
Doctor Doom was not going to be the villain in Fantastic Four film.
I think some people thought so.
So, oh, so apparently Vision is going to get. Here's the thing. Now, discussion film is sourcing YouTube. Don't source freaking YouTube.
Well, who's it by? Who's saying this about the Vision thing?
That's good. Oh, it's
Is
probably
it
Jeff
that
Snyder
the
and John Walker. Okay,
is
Jeff
it
Snyder and
what
John.
the Vision is getting a special? Is it that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
A
yeah,
series.
okay.
A
A
series.
series.
I don't fucking
Oh
want
boy.
I personally don't want a Vision series. He's kind of boring, Vision. I mean, it's new. This is the right Vision.
So okay, if they do a series, I'm going to bet yet again that this is a series about the Tom King Vision, which is what everybody thought WandaVision was going to be about. That is,
No,
I'm gonna. There's
One
there's no way that they're just gonna
WandaVision was
sit
never about
there.
Vision. WandaVision was never about WandaVision. With Vision, it was all
Yeah, it
about
wasn't.
Wanda.
But if you look at the premise of that show and you read the Vision comic, you would have thought that yes, this was going to be loosely inspired by that comic.
The thing is, I know. The thing is, people already knew. It was already knew that Doctor Doom was not going to be the villain in the Fantastic Four film. I think it's the villain Nihilus that is going to be the villain.
Hmm.
And Degrassi's been hinting at Nihilus being in the MCU very soon. But like Vision's cool, but it's
Annihilus as the first villain.
I don't know. I
I
don't
kind of
know.
hope that's not true.
I mean, if they're going to space, I was hoping to stay on Earth and fight Mole Man, but I don't think it's gonna be Mole Man. Because Mole Man, like
Uh,
like some like some of these shows,
Annihilus seems way too big to just be a throwaway character in the first movie.
yeah, but Marvel tends to do that at times.
I mean, just remember, this is the same character that people thought was going to be the villain of Endgame. They're like, oh, they're going to make it a nihilist because that makes sense. It was like, oh my god.
No, it's always gonna be Thanos.
People thought it was. They thought the title for Endgame
No,
was going to be
you think?
Annihilation. Yes, yes. Go back and look at this. This is not a joke.
I'm
Like
sorry,
there's
but
like people making fan art of it, and someone put this out there. I don't know who it was, but it was
I
a
mean,
credible scooper too.
no,
Credible in quotes.
this just makes me remember like Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Oh man.
No, it's always gonna be Thanos. I knew it was gonna be Thanos. It had
Well,
to be
yeah,
Thanos.
anybody who watched Infinity War knew it was going to be Thanos.
Yeah.
They're not going to introduce a new villain while they haven't even dealt with the first one. Like, come on, this is nonsense.
But yeah, that's so. You know what? They should. I know Blade. They should have got James Wan to direct Blade. But oh well.
Or I think the guy that they got is like a horror director. So
Yeah, you need a horror director for that for Blade. Don't fuck up Blade, please. It's not Wesley Snipes, but I don't know if we even need a Vision series. Really, make it a special.
if it's like I said, if it's about the Vision comic, then I'll be okay with it. If it's something else, I don't want to watch it.
It's called Vision's Crest, so it might be relatable to a comic. A writer's room is being assembled for a series next week. Okay, next week. Then why did they should announce this at D23 or something, or at Comic Con?
Maybe because it's far off.
This might be all the Phase 5 Disney Plus shows are announced, right?
No,
but most of them are.
So, some of them we know: Ironheart, Secret Invasion, Daredevil, Agatha. Echo.
Okay, that's 5.
That's it. And obviously the animated shows, but that's about it.
So there's Wonder Man. There's probably Vision's Crest.
Well, Wonder Man hasn't. They still have yet to come out and say anything.
I think they're having issues with Wonder Man personally.
Because remember, all of a sudden now people are like, "Oh, they're going to make it a special." And to be honest, if they make it a TV show, I mean, I don't. That seems like grasping at straws, in my opinion. You would have to, at that point, just like completely change the character.
Oh, you know what? The Black Panther stuff, spin-offs. I wonder if they'll still
yes.
Play. So they might be.
Yes. There's also supposed to be the Shang-Chi.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, we still don't know what they're going to do with Black Knight.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that they set up, and it's like now you're setting up way too much.
Yeah, tone it down with the shows.
And also too, remember they're setting up the Young Avengers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like where are they supposed to? Like, are they going to show up in their own movie or show? Like,
Young Avengers to me sounds like a movie to me.
Sure, but I mean, where though? Like, you wouldn't want to put this out before the new Avengers movies, so.
Yeah.
And also too, who's on the Avengers?
Fuck. Because
like,
technically, in Endgame, not everybody in Endgame that came back were Avengers.
Yeah. But like some people on Twitter were like, "Oh, I want all these people to interact," and it was like,
no,
30 plus characters, and it's like, bro, it's like the Avengers had 6 people on a team.
Spider-Man was never an Avenger. Remember, he rejected it.
Yeah, well, in Infinity War, he became an Avenger, but it's like you can't. In my opinion, you have to have like a core team. You can't just have everybody on the team.
Doctor Strange is not an Avenger. The Guardians are not Avengers.
Like they're on the Avengers by default, but they're not the main.
Yeah, they're
team.
heroes. Yeah, they're not a team. They're heroes. They'll fight for what's right. I mean, like, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like you need at least 6 people on the team, and they have to have a good interaction. Like, do people forget that the original 6 characters had like chemistry? They had a good foundation. Oh, you know, it's another rumor that's going around too. Oh my God, all these Marvel rumors. This is going to confuse people. They're going to do Secret War. Secret War.
Secret War?
No, not Secret Wars. Secret War. the comic that introduces the Secret Avengers, and it was a whole mission with Nick Fury. They're going to introduce that, and it apparently is it's set up in Secret Invasion.
Wow.
Yeah, that's definitely going to confuse people. They can't call it that. That's I know that's going to be
So yeah, so we got like
confusing.
all Phase 5 movies are announced. Phase 6 movies are not announced, right? So not all
Mhm.
Phase 6 movies, right? All Phase 5 were announced, weren't they?
At this point, it seems like it.
So the first three in early 2023, but the second half got delayed because of Blade. Yeah,
Mhm.
Ant
Well,
Man.
they're
Yeah,
well because they shifted the slate. We know every Phase 5 movie, but before we didn't, because remember, Fantastic Four was supposed to come out in November.
of 2024. Yeah,
Yeah, and then because Blade also got shifted around too.
it's you know what? It
There
was smart
was
from the move. It was smart to move it from Fantastic Four to February so they could set up Kang Dynasty because remember
mhm,
for before Infinity War in Endgame they had Captain Marvel and Black Panther.
mhm,
It was smart to do Fantastic Four. It makes sense because who's Kang related to? Who's he
mhm.
descendant of? Right? Is descendant of Reed Richards. Makes
Yeah,
sense.
that makes sense. Yeah, but
And
what was the movies that are in 2025? We only know two of them, and there's
yes,
probably going to be at least three.
there's usually three Marvel movies a year.
Yeah,
2021, I think was first time we had four. But that's
I'm going
pandemic
to
wise.
guess if a movie comes out in 2025, it's going to be Shang-Chi 2.
Yeah, Shang-Chi. It's it's gonna be
But
it's
I
gonna be
don't
the
know
three
how they're gonna.
Fantastic Four and Avengers are gonna be the two big movies, and then the third Marvel movie will be a little bit smaller, like they
Mhm.
did with Ant Man, right? Because Ant Man 2 was right after Infinity War, and that wasn't a big movie compared to Infinity War. It was a smaller
No,
movie.
yeah, and it didn't even directly tie into it until the ending.
Yeah, yeah. Spider Man, on the other hand, did kind of tie into an Endgame though in 2019.
Yes.
Yes. So yeah, 2025. The Phase 6 will only know three movies: Fantastic Four and the two Avengers movies. Probably get a Shang Chi.
Yeah, I'll say Shang-Chi, the Mutants, maybe whatever that project is,
I
because
think the Hawk movie's happening.
I don't know when that Hulk movie is supposedly gonna happen.
They they are setting a lot of stuff up though with the Hawk.
Yeah, they are, but if they put that in between Avengers movies, I think that would be a problem.
Oh yeah, I think they need to do a wait.
There just seems to be way too much. This is what I mean. Like, there's just too much content. Like, how are you supposed to fit this content? You dated this, right? Where are these movies supposed to fit in between two major events? It just doesn't really make much sense.
Here's the thing, Degrassi. Maybe it has, but Marvel shouldn't be like scared or threatened or anything. It should be good. It should be embracing it, right? Competition is good.
Well, no, no, if you think about it, they would be shooken up because Marvel has played extremely dirty. So remember what I was telling you? Like, yeah, Kevin Feige would be surprised because James Gunn knows Marvel's formula and secret, how they run their productions, how they get all these movies made, right? How he makes his own movies. So he has like a very he's the only person.
I think James Gunn would be more openly creative than Kevin Feige would be
I mean,
with
I
other
we'll
people.
we'll see. I mean, I think he's going to he's what's going to happen is he's going to be the one who is going to be picking what character gets the movie and then kind of like talk with what's his name?
If we don't get a Plastic Man movie,
What's the other guy's name? Peter. I'm forgetting his name.
Saffron or whatever his name is.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
he's gonna be obviously like trying to see if it's feasible to make it.
dude.
That's why you got two people in there.
What are your thoughts on DCU Batman?
They have to do something with him.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. A lot of people. Oh, okay, okay. There's some people say, "Oh, they're geekosity, those guys. Oh, they're gonna make Batfleck 3 movies." I'm like, no. You know what? They're not gonna do. Batman is never gonna have a solo in the DCU as long as the Batman universe is around. Batman's gonna be in team up movies only.
I can see. Okay, I think that's where they have to be creative, though.
Yeah, yeah. They have to be very creative. Yeah, because I think the thing is, DC does a better job at making you feel the characters better because they don't do the comedy, over the top comedy all the time.
Hmm.
I know I was gonna say this. I was gonna say, fuck. Yeah, they got to. I mean, now apparently the Batman is not gonna come out to at least 2025 to the latest. I'm like, no shock there.
Yeah, I mean, but that was like a standard turnaround time. That seems
Yeah.
really short compared to how long they made the first movie. They,
Well,
they took
that
five
went that
years.
went a that went a crazy process. That movie.
I mean, but even then, remember, if there was no pandemic, the movie would have came out in 2021, which still would have mean that the movie was made in 4 years.
Yeah, but that movie was not even supposed to be that movie. It was supposed to be Ben Affleck and everything. That movie
Well,
went.
no,
That
no,
movie
that's
went.
from the time. Hold on, wait. The 4 years is the time when they hired Matt Reeves to write the script.
Yeah, yeah.
That was
That movie went.
2017.
That movie was development hell, man. That went through so much shit. That movie, and it won't be like because they have the shows this time, right? They have the shows in between now,
Mm.
so they could take your time with the movie as long as it leads up to the movie. Because those shows, I mean, those I want to see the pink one, and also I like the. I'll be honest, I like the change in the Green Lantern thing. Focus on John Stewart. I think they're gonna do. I think they're choosing John Stewart because I think they have bigger plans for Hal Jordan. That's just me personally.
Mm. Yeah, a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people did want the different lanterns in the show, but to me that sounds like it's way too convoluted. Like you had to consider Green Lantern comics are like they're very lore heavy. There's a lot of
Mhm.
stories.
Oh
So
yeah.
it's like introducing so many characters at once. And you have to remember, you have to establish them, right? That may take a whole season.
Hey, Degrassi. I want to watch that softball game. Hey, James Gunn had that for his wedding. That's DC versus Marvel softball. I'm
Hmm.
sure. Yeah, yeah. And I was gonna say this. I like that. I like Star Wars John Stewart. I do think they have bigger plans for Hal Jordan. Hal Jordan's probably is gonna be in the movies or something,
Hmm.
whatever. Because I think in the next 10 years, I'm saying 10 years. I know that's a lot. We're gonna get Justice League 2.
Within
I
10
think.
years, I think.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna have to wait a little bit.
I
Because they
yeah.
can't just put out they can't just do Superman and then do JLA or Justice League 2. They should actually just do a JLA.
You
Just
know what
do
they
that
should do?
team.
Shazam 2. Okay. I don't think Superman Shazam. Superman should be the one to bring in Shazam to the Justice League. That's what I think.
Mm.
If they do, if they do Black
Yeah,
Adam versus
probably.
yeah, like I look, the cameo is great, okay, but I want to see Black Adam make a cameo on Shazam 2, and then Shazam 3, Black Adam versus Shazam, and Superman could be in it. Marvel does it all the time with team ups. Why can't you do here?
Mm.
You know what I would like to see?
But what do you think they'll do with the DCU Batman? Because they have to do something with him.
Yeah, I think he's just gonna do team ups. If because I don't know if because of the Batman universe. I don't know. I think there's
Because
gonna
I think they I don't think they can make a solo Batman movie, but I think they could
yeah.
they're going to have to introduce the Bat Family. So
Yeah, you
couldn't
could
you
do
do a
that.
team up Batman
Nightwing.
movie? Yeah, because you couldn't because Matt Reeves seems like he doesn't want to like have the Bat Family.
You know what they did bad in the DC? They made Lex Luthor known as a criminal to everybody, so he can cover up his crimes. I would love to see a Public Enemies live action, where the world
Mm,
where Lex Luthor is president, and he makes people turn on Superman. Because you saw the movie, right? And you know the comic. They
mm,
turn on Superman, and Batman is like the only one who could prove he's innocent. I would love to see that in live action.
mm.
Oh, Public Enemies. That could be like just Civil War.
Yeah, I mean, if they want to try another Batman and Superman story,
Where they're on the team this time. Where Batman tries to prove Superman's innocence.
yeah, I think more people. I mean, more people would want that interaction.
Yeah.
I mean, they never really got that, so.
They should.
Well, there's a bunch of movies that DC can greenlight, but like, would it make
Yeah.
sense to greenlight? Like, would it make sense to make these movies?
Why are they going to cancel like Gotham show though?
That Gotham Knight show?
Yeah.
No clue.
How the hell you make the character become Two-Face if Bruce Wayne is like dead or Batman's dead?
Mm. Well, they got to stop doing these. I know people like Superman and Lois. I haven't watched it, so I can't really comment. But like, they need to stop doing stuff like that. Like, stop making like these lower budget CW type shows with characters that are popular that could just be in the movies.
Yeah.
Like it
No.
takes away from the character, in my opinion, because now the character's
They,
split.
they tried to do that away from Superman in the Arrowverse until like 2015, 2016. Once they went to Supergirl.
Just have Superman be in the movies and then make a character or find a character that fits the television
Yeah.
that would be popular, right?
But people like
Yeah,
that Superman though.
they're still making that Metal Man movie.
Why?
Metal Man. Well, because it's an animated movie.
Oh, anime, that's fine.
Yeah, and I
But
don't
there's a
think
lot
it
of
wasn't. They were supposed to be in the Cyborg movie.
Yeah, that ain't happening. As long as it's with Fisher,
Yeah, that
no.
Cyborg movie. That Cyborg movie was a terrible idea when it was first announced. Anyway,
I don't know.
I don't
Like,
know what they were thinking.
what's the people's fashion? I have no problem to do a Teen Titans movie or something leading up to that. Like, not from the show, obviously, but
Hmm.
you kind of. There's a lot of stuff they could build from DC. There's a lot of stuff. I mean, you could do Brother Eye if you wanted to. Batman gets paranoid at one point and creates Brother Eye and all the Omax. Oh my god,
Hmm.
that'd be like Ultron all over again, right? Oh,
Well,
Batman.
I still want to see like Animal Man, or the Human Target. They got to pick some of these obscure characters and give them like a TV show or something.
Yo, James Gunn is perfect for those kind of characters.
Yeah, because right now they're kind of doing it, but they're not always doing it. And then just give the bigger characters the movies, right? And also another thing too, James Gunn should do. I don't know if it would be a good business decision or not, but they should do DC and then they should have DC Black.
Yeah,
Because it is just like way too confusing when you're like, okay, there's going to be projects that are not in the DCU, but they're characters that are in the DCEU. Yeah, I know the Human Target had a show, but I mean, like, the Tom King comic right now is amazing. Like, that could be a TV show, and that would be a TV show people would watch. Like, it's a murder mystery with the Justice League.
well,
It's a great comic, so.
Do the Creston.
Yeah, I was the question. I don't mean to brag or flex because this is nothing significant, but I said they should put the question. They should put all the Charlton characters in Peacemaker season 2, and guess who liked my post?
Oh, who? James Gunn.
James Gunn. So please,
Oh.
you saw my tweet. Just do it. That would make that would make season 2 like amazing.
Yeah, I think technically it would be Black Label. Joker's Black Label.
Yes. Or the Black Label would make sense because remember they're still making the Constantine with Keanu.
Yeah.
And then they have also the Joker too.
Is
And
Sandman considered Black Label, even though it's on Netflix?
I would say it would be a Black Label.
Yeah.
I just put all the Vertigo comics because they could have DC is so stupid. Like I'm still waiting for a Fable show. I don't know why they have yet to not make it.
What show?
Fables, like The Wolf Among Us. Like that would be a fantastic show. Especially if it's more like Wolf Among Us than the comics. That'd be a fantastic show. Oh my god. So much potential that is just sitting there. No one's doing nothing.
Ew.
Oh, was this like years back? Because I don't remember hearing about this.
They do need to introduce. They should introduce Green Arrow in the DCEU.
I think he is gonna get introduced soon in the Black Canary. Who is that? A movie, a show, whatever that is. I think he's gonna be in it.
Black Canary, yeah. That's not Charlie Hunnam.
I don't think it's gonna be him. I think it's gonna be someone a little bit different.
No. 2018, 2019.
Do you remember
there was to be that Wonder Woman show back in like 2011 and never got picked up?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean that was horrible. Based on what I read about that show, yeah.
That's the one that leaked, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. I'm like, what the hell is this? That's not Wonder Woman.
Yeah, a Kevin Smith question. I don't know what to say to that, to be honest. That to me sounds like you know what you're gonna get, and I definitely don't want that. Something about Kevin Smith writing vigilantes. I'm good.
Kevin Smith? Oh yeah. Yeah, Adrian Palicki. Yeah, she was gonna be Wonder Woman, Diana Prince, and they had Elizabeth Hurley as Veronica Cale, and Pedro Pascal was also in it. I forget who he.
Oh wow.
Played. Yeah. Ironically, because he played the Maxwell Lord. And Maxwell Lord is so different in Wonder Woman 84 than in the comics. It's like you wouldn't know if that's the Maxwell Lord from the comics. That's totally different characters. Right?
I still have yet to see that movie.
Oh, it's not that good.
Yeah, I ain't gonna watch it. There's only few comic book movies I have never watched because I just refuse to.
Oh, what are they?
Dark Phoenix.
Okay, yeah.
Wonder Woman.
That's terrible movies.
Yeah, they're just stuff. I'm like, I've seen terrible superhero movies though. I saw Supergirl. It's fucking awful. And Catwoman.
Oh yeah, Supergirl did have a movie. Yeah, with what's her name? Helen Slater.
Yeah, I don't remember. And also Steel. I saw Steel too.
Shaq. Oh.
Yeah. Who else? God. I did not see Jonah Hex. I don't really care to see that one.
I don't care about Hex either.
Yeah. Yeah, just and New Mutants. I haven't seen New Mutants.
I haven't seen New Mutants either.
Yeah, I was very interested, but then when people were like, "Oh, it's shit," I'm just like, "Yeah, I ain't gonna bother."
That movie is finished for like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, that was crazy. So much potential gone down the drain.
Yeah, like, and I know it's a pandemic. Might as well just release it during a pandemic. Like, come on.
Wait. a Batman animated series sequel with Paul Dini.
As
But
him as
is this
Bruce Wayne?
produced by Kevin Smith? I'm confused.
As Bruce Wayne? I don't know if I want to see that.
Anything with Paul Dini, I'll watch it.
You know what's weird? Master Phantasm in the anime series, the Joker's origin. Is he a mobster or was he a comedian? Because I remember one episode he was a comedian. They got booed off the stage. But in Master Phantasm, he was like a mobster. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, I don't even remember.
That's weird. Yeah, I think I end it here. 1 hour and 40 minutes. Yeah. Thank you for coming on, Blambril.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay,
Yeah, it was nice seeing everybody in the chat.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about the Batman stuff in a couple days or whatever. Yeah. So everybody, like, share, subscribe, comment below. You know the drill. Typical drill. And I'll be on Max's channel. He's on. I don't know what his 100K thing in, but yeah, I'll see you there. I don't know if you're gonna watch, but if you are, I'll see you there. But Gordon.
All right.
Take care, guys. You know, I'll see you guys in the DM in this chat, or I'll be and on Twitter. But yeah, take care, guys.
Yeah, peace, everybody.